Shalom, family and friends. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is going to be the hardest video I've ever made. Like, really hard. I don't even know how to start. How? Bringing it all to an end. I better hurry up because there's so much to say. Times are hard. And I spoke about a new direction. And I've been dwelling on it for a long time. A long time. 6 months actually. And since then, I'm like, oh man. Since then, it's just been under the deepest, like, most powerful attack ever. Because basically, I've spoken about just refusing to be like certain people. Refusing. Not gonna do that. I'm not gonna write off a whole country or a whole race of people. And I'm not gonna submit to the hate. And also, I'm learning to just keep a lid on anger and frustrations and stuff like that. I'm doing well with that. And I've been under attack hard since then. Like a new direction. I'm gonna do my best to try and explain. So basically, what's going on now? Like, I've had enough. I've had enough of what's going on. It's getting a bit tedious. And also, I want to give America a break. I want to give America a break because I think it's time to just sit back and watch. Because of course there's many psyops and games being played right now and being duped and fooled. And this is also why I think it's time to just be quiet now, and why my testimony is coming to an end, because it really doesn't matter what I think, but what I think is sometimes is slightly different. Will Babylon fall for trying to do the right thing? Or will Babylon fall because they don't? Or is it all just a game? And they know Babylon's falling and they're moving house because they know it has to happen. The stronghold is going to move back to Europe. But with new sheriffs, shall we say. Because it's all about deceiving us at the end of the day. It really is. It really is. So basically what I think going on in America right now is basically, I think there will be peace. We obviously know why and what scriptures and blah, blah, blah. I also think Mr. Trump will get his Nobel Peace Prize, because I think it's all about diffusing the situation and tricking people, deceiving people, and also getting people just to stand down, stay on the sofa. Don't worry, we're fighting so you don't have to. That kind of thing. Or maybe they're fighting for real because they know Revelations 18 is about them, and they're trying, basically. They're trying. But, you know, as I say, never underestimate. And, you know, the Messiah warned us never to be deceived. Don't be deceived. It just doesn't matter anymore to me how it happens. All I know is that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So I think a lot of stuff's going to happen within the next 4 years to get you guys to unanimously vote for the other guys to come in. And I think that's when it really begins. I don't think it will begin within the next 4 years, because you see other things happening. Basically, they need to finalize the whole system, iron out a few creases, a few glitches, a few tweaks in the system, because the AI is not quite ready yet. So we're going to need more years. It's being built up in your workplace and everything, the whole system. Slowly, slowly, little by little, while we're being distracted. So I think in the next 4 years they'll be ready. But the main aim is to get you to unanimously vote for the next stage, just like they did in this one. They made everything so bad that you unanimously voted for the other party, thinking that they were going to change things. But things ain't changed much. But we have to wait. But that's what we always do. We wait, we wait, we wait, we wait 4 years, we wait 8 years, we went 10 years, and nothing really much changed. Because at the end of the day, someone wants to step in and be the hero and have all the answers. We know this. So things are going to continue to get bad to worse, bad to worse, bad to worse. But the one thing they need is for you to vote unanimously. Over here, it's just excuses after excuse after excuse. It's ridiculous. And they want to pat themselves on the back for putting up the minimum wage. But at the end of the day, all the bills you have to pay, gas, electricity, council tax, rent, water, Wi-Fi, they're all going up. So it really doesn't make a difference. Your little pay rise doesn't really make a difference. It just goes straight back into their pocket. So really what they've allowed to happen is they've legitimized basically them to put up their prices by saying, oh, you get pay rise, so they still get their money. And you could still pay for it because you've had a pay rise. And all this money you saving now in the summer months is now going to your Wi-Fi, to your electricity, to the water, to the rent, to the council tax. Like I said, it's all about what they can get away with. And we just let them get away with it. And that's part of the reason why I'm shutting this off now. And it's time for me to, there's many reasons why it's time for me to go now, because one of the main reasons is because everybody's breathing down our necks. And the 40 quid a month that I use to pay to have the Wi-Fi, to have a phone contract, to be able to do this, I'm going to use that now just to keep people quiet, just to stay afloat, basically. It's all part of confirmation. It's got to that point, you know. The legend of the rent is way hardcore. It's all devices to ruin the poor. How can we make bricks without straw? But the letters continue to come through the door. So that allows me to be free, to go and join the wild horses. So let's open the book. Let's do Ezekiel 38. So, remember in the book of Revelations where it says, Satan will be locked up and thrown in the, and be imprisoned for 1,000 years, but then he will be released again for a short time. I think that's what people call the little season. But a lot of us, we believe that Ezekiel 38, 39 is that short season, way after Revelation. The end, basically. So we're not in the little season now. The little season is way ahead in the future. We can argue all day, but we kind of have to look at the details. I mean, it's very similar. I understand why people think it's the same. Ezekiel 38 is the book of Revelations, but small details. So, Ezekiel 38, and the word of the Father came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith Father Yah, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks unto thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horse and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armour, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself thou, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard against them. After many days, thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Yasharal, which have been always waste. The land has always been waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So everybody who's made it, we're all now living together. Other people, desolate wastelands and such and such. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saith Father Yah. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. So this is now we're all home. We've all made it. We're all living in peace and safety after many days, after a long time. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates. To take a spoil, to take a prey, and to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited. Desolate places now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land, Sheba and Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish with all the young lions thereof shall say unto thee. So other nations around about, everybody knows what's just happened. We're living in peace and safety now. This is a long time afterwards. People are becoming numerous again. Whether in the book of Revelations where it says, The healing, the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. Maybe it's possibly about that. And after many, many hundreds of years, people living far away have forgotten what happened. But people who were dwelling around Yasharel in peace and safety, everyone remembers. The neighbors remember. But the people far off, they have forgotten. And when the evil one is released again, he starts his nonsense again with the same people. Where do you want your descendants to be? Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish with all their young lions thereof shall say unto thee, Art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? Have you come to do it again? Psalms 83, you know? Joel 3, Obadiah. Have you come to do it again? Therefore, Son of Man, prophesy and say unto Gog, Thus says Father Yah, in that day when my people of Yasharel dwell of safety, shalt thou not know it? So they know. They know people are living in peace and safety over there. They're well fed. They're happy. It's not the same where they live. Things have changed, or things have always been bad. This is what I'm like quite sure. At the end of Revelations, it says, outside the gates, outside the kingdom, there are jackals. It's not a nice place. It's an evil place. Now, that whether that's after this or whether this is in the centuries after Revelations, my people of Yasharel dwell safely, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army. You see, after Revelations, there's not many people left on the earth. So many people have died. So this is telling us again, there's a multitude. There are multitudes of people again. And thou shalt come against my people of Yasharel as a cloud cover the land. It shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. I will bring thee against my land. He released Satan specifically for that. And what I'm noticing now is the heathen and the Gentiles. I don't think it means the same thing. The translators of the Bible have made it look like it says the same thing, but I think the heathen and the Gentiles are different people. The heathens are specific nations. I'll let you decide who that is. And thou shalt come against my people with Yasharel as a cloud cover the land, and it shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. Thus saith Father Yah, art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants the prophets of Yasharel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them? And it shall come to pass at the same time, when Gog shall come against the land of Yasharel, saith the Father, that my fury shall come up in my face, for in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Yasharel, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. And the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Father. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him. So now you're all gathered, people are all gathered to come against everyone who has received salvation, everyone who survived. And these people had an evil thought, as it said in the beginning, that they had come to take a spoil, they come to take again. Remember when I spoke a few videos back about why we shouldn't be allowed, if there was such a thing as space, we're not allowed in space. We're not ready for space. Because if we were to come across another species and they were weaker than us, we would come after them. We will take a spoil, we will take their stuff, we will attack them, we will steal, we will kill, we will destroy. Thou shalt not steal. This is a big part of our salvation. Do we have that in us? To prey on the weak, to be corrupt. And I will plead against him with pestilence. All these people who are gathered, you see what's happening to them basically. I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. Fire, hail and brimstone again. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Father. So just asking the questions again, like the book of Revelations, is it actually God just standing back and letting man destroy himself, letting man do all this, and then just taking all the beloved, all the people who have been saved, and just placing them somewhere else, putting them in safety? course, I believe the Most High is in charge, but just asking. Therefore, thou son of man, on to 39. Therefore, son of man, prophesy against Gog, and say, Thus saith Father Yah, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back, and leave but the sixth part of thee. And I will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and I will bring thee upon the mountains of Yasharel. And I will leave but the sixth part of thee. And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and I will cause thine arrows to fail out of thy right hand. And thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Yasharel, thou and all thy bands, and all the people that is with thee. I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. Once again, a feast for the animals. It sounds like the same thing. I don't know. I don't believe, but it's never about what I believe. It's gonna happen. And it happens the way it happens. I'm stepping out of the guessing game. But it's all about knowing what it says. So when it happens, when you see it, you know. This prophecy has come into pass. This one hasn't come to pass yet. It's all about knowing what's written. Not concentrating too much on who these countries are and blah, 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 and this, that, and blah, blah, blah. And because over the centuries, they've mingled and they've mixed and they've changed the names, and Ethiopia isn't Ethiopia as it meant then. Esau isn't Esau anymore as he was back in those days. And I will smite thy bow out of their hands, and I will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand. Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Yasharel, and all thy bands and all thy people that is with thee I will give thee unto ravenous birds and beasts to be devoured. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken it, says Yah. I will send a fire on Magog, and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am the Elohim. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people, Yasharel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name any more, and the heathen shall know that I am the Father, the Holy One in Yasharel. You see, the way I see it, once we're all together and the wicked of the earth come for us again, this is when we're going to see. It's going to be unmistakable. No, nothing. Not even missiles and nukes. It's literally going to be Sodom and Gomorrah again. Fire and brimstone from the skies. There'll be no explaining it away. Because in the book of Revelations, it looks like, and it probably is, nukes. And as I went through it before, aliens, pandemics, climate change. Because these are the times we're in now. They're building up epic story for those, for the future generations, for those in the bunkers. Because that's who I believe this is, Gog and Magog. These are the people coming out of the bunkers to now lead the people who have survived, who are now numerous. Remember, I spoke about the movie Kingdom of the Apes. It's a plan, whether it'll work or not. But I don't think you'll have the weapons. I don't think you'll have the weapons. Where was I? In the open field. So I'll make my holy name known. Behold, it is come, and it is done, says the Father. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Yasharel shall go forth, and shall set a fire, and burn the weapon. This is why I think we're going back to basics. Back to basics. So behold, it has come, and it is done, saith Father Yah. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Yasharel shall go forth, and shall set fire on, and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, and the bows and the arrows, and the handstaves, and the spears. And they shall burn them with fire for 7 years. And this is why I believe we're going back to basics. Siege weapons, staffs, spears, clubs, bow and arrows. We're back to basics. There'll be no more tanks and rifles and all this stuff. There may be some with few, if they have that plan from Planet of the Apes, and also in the 100, the series, the 100, they have it in that as well. When the people fall down from space, it's in season 1, season 2. They're given coordinates to places where weapons are stashed. And they go and find them. And that's how they survive. Because the people who have been dwelling in the desolate wastelands, they're more fierce. They're proper warriors. These are hardened people. So they needed the weapons to survive against them, and to be stronger than them. Now people could say, oh, but set and burn on fire. They could say, oh, yeah, but they're burning their weapons and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forests, for they shall burn the weapons with fire. So they don't need to cut down any trees. So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any of the out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those who spoiled them. So these are wooden weapons. They will burn them. They don't need to cut down trees to melt down metal weapons. They're just burning all the siege weapons and the sticks and the clubs and the bow and arrows. That's why I think we're going back to basics. And they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob them those that robbed them, says the Father. And it shall come to pass that in that day that I will give unto Gog a place for their a place there of graves in Yasharel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea. And it shall stop the noses of the passengers, decaying bodies, and it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there they shall bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon Gog. And 7 months shall the house of Yasharel be burying them, that they may cleanse the land. 7 months, everybody's burying all these people, hundreds of thousands, if not millions. They're burning their weapons for 7 years. Come on, man, that's a lot. And burying their bodies for 7 months. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Father. We didn't need to fight. We didn't need to fight. The Most High took care of all of it right before our eyes and in front of our neighbours' eyes, everyone's eyes. And they shall sever out of men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. So even passers-by are being roped into this. People going to and fro, from coming back to Jerusalem, neighbours and everything. Now they're being asked to come help us bury these people, because it's going to be a nice place. Like we said, we're living in a land of plenty. Everybody's happy. It's peaceful. "7 months they shall search, and the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth a man's bone, then shall he set up a sign that the buriers have buried it in the valley of Hamon Gog." Bury it. Get rid of these people's bones. Bury them. And also the name of the city shall be Hamonah. Thus shall they cleanse the land. And thou, son of man, thou, saith the Father, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field, assemble yourself and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Yasharel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood. Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty, and drink the blood of princes of the earth, and the rams and of lambs and goats and bullocks, and of them fatlings of Bashan. And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken of my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you. Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, and with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith the Father. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. So the house of Yasharel shall know that I am the Father, their Elohim, from that day forward. And the heathen shall know that the house of Yasharel went into captivity for their iniquity. And the heathen shall know that the house of Yasharel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they transgressed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. So the whole story is just, everyone's knows now. If you didn't know before, you know now. If you forgot, you're being reminded. Therefore, thus saith Father Yah, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Yasharel, and will be jealous for my holy name. After that they have borne their shame, and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt slavefully in their land, and none made them afraid. When I have brought them again from the people, and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. And then shall they know that I am the Father, their Elohim, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. But I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Yasharel, saith the Most High Yah. So I get it. People do think this is the same. I understand it. It sounds very similar. It does. But there's little details which make me think, no, this is not quite the same as the Book of Revelations. But like I said, I'm not a teacher. I'm asking the questions, and it doesn't matter what I think. What matters is that it's written. We will know when it's time. So where do we want to be? Where do we want to be? If I manage to survive, I want to be there. I don't want to be here, suffering and living in desolate wasteland. And then my generations are the ones who want to go to steal, kill, and destroy. I don't want that to be my descendants. I want my descendants to be the ones living in peace and safety. Are we choosing that now? Are we choosing that now? Yeah, I'm done. Like I said, I'm done. I'm done with the guessing game and everything, because like I've been too much into this, man, filling my head with it. 4 or 5 years now. And now I just feel this, I'm just getting this overwhelming feeling and lots of confirmation that it's time to move on. It's time to move on. I've learnt so much. I know enough. I've heard enough. I've seen enough. And that it's just getting tedious. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It gets to the point where you feel like a cat. You know, when you got that laser pen and you're putting the little dot on the floor and the cat's like chasing after the little dot on the floor. I've got to that point where I'm just the cat who's worked it all out and I'm just looking at your hand. I'm not interested in the little dot on the floor anymore. I know that that little dot on the floor is coming from this hand. So I'm not chasing after the little dot. We know the signs. We're waiting for things to come to pass. All these silly little details about the nations and the governments and what they're doing. Me personally, I think it's all a game. They're all in it together. They're playing Revelation. They're playing Revelation. Preparing the way for the evil one, so that he can look like the Saviour and come with all the answers. It's weakened me, man. It's weakened me. I just don't want the focus. I just don't want to focus it on it anymore. No more of news and everything. I'm even swearing a lot more now. It's just like my spirit is... Also, I'm shutting this thing down because I'm done. I'm done. Like I said, I've been in this 4 years, man, watching documentaries, this, that, listening to people. I mean, yeah, I'm so grateful for people who have taught me a lot. The people who do the documentaries, the people who bring out the truth on their channel. But I spend too much time. I know enough. I've seen enough. I heard enough. And I'm going to miss the Hebrew channels. I'm going to miss them a lot. Certain Hebrew channels. But it's time to go dark. It's time to go dark. It's time to just zip it up and just watch from a distance. I have been weakened from that. They're just distractions. Just as like learning how to put the anger aside and just to laugh at things and it's made me see better. It's given me better sight and be able to work things out. It's made me more observant. And I put that aside. It's helped me so much. And I want to put away the poison, the temptation, and the sheer madness of the internet. And also the foolishness, the mind games, the shenanigans, the brainwashing of social media. I want to put it all behind me, man. At least for a while. For a while, man. Because there's been times when I take breaks on social media and you get that report from your tablet and it says, oh, you have used your tablet 6 hours less than last week, and you're like, what? And it's like, wow. And that's just social media, not just like watching TV series and stuff. That's just social media. And most of the time when I log onto YouTube now, it's like, not interested. It's just like, oh, this is stupid. Constantly trying to sway your opinion there, your opinion there. And I'm tired of it all, man. Seriously. It's just stupid. It's entertaining, it's interesting if you have your right. But it's like when I say, oh, people have been getting rich off preppers for 4 years. When you really think about it, they've been getting rich off preppers for 20, 25 years. Seriously. You prepped at Y2K. Everybody prepped when Iraq and Afghanistan. Everybody prepped at the financial fall of 2008. People prepped in 2012, 2016, 2019. Even this thing with 23andMe, everybody running to get their DNA, and it's just like, oh, man. I just said that, look, I know who I am. I know who I am. I don't need some silly DNA test. And now look, the country, the company is gone. Where's your data gone? Where's your data going? Oh, you can delete your data. Really, can you? Can you really? And how do you know that? How do you get proof of that? How do you know the most precious thing to you is not going to some nefarious characters? Is not going to those eugenics people? Mad scientists, evil geniuses. That's another reason why it's all a confirmation. Cut this thing off. While you can, because it's not a crime yet. There's no law that says you have to be online. I'm not falling away. I'm not losing faith. I'm just going in a new direction. It's like, you know, people say they cast out demons. Casting out demons, casting out demons. It's just become a term that people just throw around. They just throw around. When I'm reading this book, like, Christ cast out people who were seriously off their heads, mentally and physically. People had literally monsters inside them. This is where I'm talking about Ephesians 6:12 stuff. I'm getting this feeling it's a lot more. The world falls into darkness and gross darkness to people being possessed, people being tormented. Revelations 9, when people get stung, they're tormented and they're screaming for death. It's a lot more than this term that we just throw around, casting out demons. And this is where I need to focus on. This is where I need to focus on, because for the last 20, 15 years, I've been fighting in my dreams. For the last 5 years, I've been, like, literally fighting and seeing some really messed up stuff. And the spiritual warfare is deep, and it's evident now, and Most High is telling me, look, this is where you need to focus on now. Stop focusing on the flesh and blood and all this foolishness and the tomfoolery. You see it now. It's time to, because it is affecting me. It is affecting me, and I don't know what's hit me. Being out of body, like totally forgetting. You know, like 7 Sons of Sceva stuff. I know Peter, I know Paul, but who are you? I've always tried to tell the truth, and this has been my testimony. And hopefully, maybe when I come back, if I can come back, then I can talk in more detail about stuff. I've got stuff to read, you know. What am I reading now? Okay, I'm diving in. I thought it was finally time that I dived into the works of Josephus. And it's in the other room. I'm almost 100 pages in, and already, it's so interesting. And I can see this is going to give me strength and insight. That's going to be my bedtime read. And for my summer read, I've got a nice fat Dostoevsky. Demons. Relax, family. It's actually about betrayal, politics, backstabbing. So that's going to be really interesting as well. But Josephus and 70 AD, the war, I know I'm going to have, that's going to be a huge challenge. I'm going to have to read that probably 3 or 4 times because it's so detailed. It's so detailed. And you could tell that reading it, you could tell a lot of writers have been inspired. George R.R. Martin, I think he's definitely read the works of Josephus. And it also helps me understand Maccabees better. Putting away temptations, not wanting to get sucked in anymore, and drawn into the foolishness and to the distractions and the mind games and the minefield and the brainwashing. And it has weakened me, you know. And I'm hurt inside, and I'm a little bit depressed because I'm struggling. I'm disappointed with myself. And that's why I need to pay more attention to this spiritual thing. Not only for now, but for the future. And when you find yourself, you have to act. You have to act. You flee from temptation. You pluck it out. You cut off your right arm. And I've wanted the smoke, basically. I wanted it through that anger, through being angry. I've wanted the smoke. And I've been feeling, they know it and I know it because of the person I am. I'm either going to get into a lot of trouble, looking for trouble, or I'm going to be trouble. And maybe that's what the Most High does not want for me. And he's trying to show me something, trying to teach me something, trying to steer me away. So that new direction is more Matthew 5 stuff and Ephesians 6:12. And I've learnt so much, and it's time to stop talking and just knuckle down, because I've put myself out there, and that's probably why this attack is so strong. And people won't like this message. They won't like to hear this. But we confess our sins to one another, because it's all about truth, right? And I won't have people using that to discredit me. So I actually look forward to this because it's necessary for this period. And I have something to learn. I have more to see here. So I don't know how much time I've got left. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in Micah 7. Woe is me, for I am as when they have gathered the summer fruits, as the grape gleanings of the vintage. There is no cluster to eat. My soul desired the first ripe fruit. The good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. They that may do evil with both hands earnestly, the prince asketh, and the judge asketh for a reward. And the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desire. So they wrap it up. The best of them is a briar, and the most upright is sharper than a thorn hedge. The day of thy watchman and thy visitation cometh, now shall be their perplexity. Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in your bosom. For the son dishonoureth the father, the daughter riseth up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's enemies are the men of his own house. For some people that's literal, that's literally, but also we have to remember in these times, when you were a servant or an employee, you were part of that house, the house of your master, the house of your boss. So it's not literally your brothers and sisters and your parents. For some people it is, but some people, they just run away with that and just... Sometimes your family members are just unbelievers, they're not your enemies. Therefore I will look unto the Father, I will wait for the Most High of my salvation, my Elohim. My Elohim will hear me. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Father Yah shall be a light unto me. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Father shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yah, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is the Most High, your God? Mine eyes shall behold her, and now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets. In the day that thy walls are to be built, in that day shall the decree be far removed. In that day also he shall come even to thee from Assyria, and from the fortified cities, and from the fortress, even to the river, and from sea to sea, and from mountain to mountain. Notwithstanding the land shall be desolate because of them that dwell therein, for the fruit of their doings. Notwithstanding the land shall be desolate because of them that dwell therein, for the fruit of their doings. Feed thy people with thy rod, the flock of thine heritage, which dwell solitarily in the wood. In the midst of Carmel, let them feed in Bashan and Gilead, as in the days of old, according to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show unto him marvelous things. According to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show unto him marvelous things. The nations shall see and be confounded at all their might. They shall lay their hand upon their mouth, their ears shall be deaf. They shall lick the dust like a serpent. They shall move out of their holes like worms of the earth. They shall lick the dust like a serpent. They shall move out of their holes like the worms of the earth. They shall be afraid of the Most High Yah, and shall fear because of He. Who is a God like unto thee, that pardoneth iniquity, and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? He retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy. He will turn again. He will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquities, and thou wilt cast all their sins unto the depths of the sea. Thou wilt perform the truth to Jacob, and the mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old. Whew. So, sorry, I've just got this green stuff all over my mouth. That's good stuff. So how do I feel now? You know, when you're playing computer games and you get to the boss level and you think, no, this ain't fair. This is cheating. How am I supposed to win this? Like, he's cheated. Like, and then you notice certain things. Like when they're doing their big power move, sometimes it just takes a little jab and then it stops the power move. And you're supposed to sweep the hen. It's hard to explain, but you notice certain things as you keep trying. Some would say failure is the best teacher. And like I said, something changed, something shifted when something clicked inside me. Something clicked. So how do I feel right now? Rocky III, the movie. Rocky is the champion, but now he's been plain sailing. He's been doing well, coasting, but now he's come up against an opponent he doesn't quite understand, he's never faced before. And he needs to go back to the drawing board. He needs to do something different to understand. He needs to fight differently. Because when all this stuff kicks off, it's not just about my own salvation. God has to work through people before Christ comes. And nobody's trying to be Christ. Nobody's trying to be Moses. Nobody's trying to be Elijah. But there are tasks for us. We're supposed to do things. And I want to be ready for it. Because God has to work through people. He's going to do his things through people. And Christ said there will be some of us who will do the things that he did. And like I hinted at before, the stuff that kind of I wanted through my anger has possibly maybe proved me to be the wrong person for that. But there is another side of me without that anger that sees the big picture and has compassion. I was once asked in a job interview, we were all asked if we could have a superpower, what would it be? And people said they wanted to fly, they wanted to read people's minds. And I said, you know what? I'd rather have the ability to heal, because then I couldn't use it for myself. And with great power comes great responsibility. Because if I could do things like reading people's minds, have super strength, teleport, fly, I probably would use those things. Can you honestly say you wouldn't? But having the power to heal, you can't use it for yourself. You're helping others. Because some people just want to be normal in this world, and that's what Christ gave to people. And Peter went on to do these things. Peter, the average man. Yes, I was supposed to finish that one. 1 Peter. I was supposed to... I refuse to be what they want me to be. I'm not going to be angry. And we're building a family here. And the kingdom is within us. So, friends and family, my name is Stephen, and this has been my testimony. I've tried to be as honest and as open as possible. I think I have done that. And it's been hard to do that. I've never tried to hide. I've tried to tell the truth. I've never tried to make money. I am not an influencer. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just on YouTube. And what I wanted to show is that being a believer, just a normal person. I'm not trying to be someone special. I am just a brother. But the Most High chooses who he chooses. And that can be any one of us. You don't want to overexalt yourself, but you don't want to be too small and meek and dismissive, and to not be able to step into a role, to be able to act. Most of you know what I'm talking about. Because we have to be the light. It's the question for all of us. What does that mean? We will understand when it all goes dark. We're just average men after all. If you had the choice to go back in time and be a fly on the shoulder of somebody from the Bible, you're not allowed to choose none of the greats. No Elijah, no Moses, no Joseph, no Jesus, no, none of these greats. Who would it be? Who would it be? My answer would be Peter. Peter took a beating on his walk. Ye have little faith. Peter, come to me, you can walk on water. He doubted, he sank. When he met the Messiah, he was like, depart from me, I'm a sinner. Get behind me, Satan. He said, Master, Master, I will never leave you. I will be there for you. He said, before the cock crows 3 times. And he failed. And the Mashiach looked him in the eyes when he did that. And he wept, he wept, he wept. He talked a good game, but in the end, he was just a man. And then when Christ was resurrected, he had to go and look him in the eye after that. And then it was, Peter, do you love me? Yes, Master. Peter, do you love me? Yes, I do, Master, I do. Then feed my sheep. And after all that he went through, he became the rock. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but I have to go now. Right now, I don't feel worthy at the moment. So I'm going to spend a lot of time in the New Testament because we need Christ. We need Yeshua. Because we are only human. but he's helping us to be better.